You're watching Fox 5 News at 10. What New Yorkers watch.
In house call, more and more people are dying from it every year. Nationwide, there's one death every hour to this. But now doctors have a new way to detect oral cancer. Here's Fox 5's Dr. Sapna Parikh.
We were both in total denial that she would ever die until the day she did die.
10 years ago, Brenda and Ira Skolnick's daughter Jill was diagnosed with oral cancer. She was just 27 years old.
It was operated on and took out a portion of her tongue and some lymph glands down the side of her neck.
She finally came out of it and felt good for about 3 months, and then it came back.
Jill died 1 year later.
People don't realize it, that there's things in your mouth or things on your tongue.
Everyone is at risk.
25% of all people who get oral cancer have absolutely no predisposition. They're not elderly, they don't smoke, they don't drink. They have actually no risk factors whatsoever.
But oral cancer does not have to be a death sentence. Early diagnosis is key. And now a new device called vizilight Plus is helping dentists detect what the naked eye cannot see.
What I want you to do now is I'd like you to rinse with this.
First, you coat the inside of your mouth with a special solution.
We darken the room, we look around their mouth with a specialized light, and abnormal cells will glow back at us.
Dr. Howard Babushkin is a dentist in Manhattan. He says while traditional exams are important, often by the time the cancer is diagnosed, it's too late. 50% of patients will not survive beyond 5 years, and those who do can have a long and painful road to recovery.
If you look in somebody's mouth and you see absolutely nothing on a regular traditional oral cancer screening, and then you go back and you illuminate the tissues with the vizilight, and suddenly you see something that wasn't there before, it's a huge impact.
I had a third of my tongue reconstructed from various parts of my body, my arm, my leg.
8 years ago, Eva Grazel was diagnosed with oral cancer.
I had a 15% chance of survival. I'm one of the lucky few.
And like Jill, she did not fit the traditional oral cancer profile.
I never smoked and I don't really drink, so they figured I was at no risk.
Dr. Babushkin says stories like Eva's and Jill's should help bring home the message that everyone needs to be checked.
If we find it at an earlier stage, the survival rates jump to more than 70%.
The test may or may not be covered by insurance. They say it's about 90% accurate, which means 10% of the time you may end up getting further testing that wasn't necessary, but better safe than sorry. I'm Dr. Sapna Parikh, Fox 5 News.
Well, your next trip to the dentist office just might save your life.
That's because many local dentists have a new screening test that can detect oral cancer in its very early stages when it can still be treated.
And Margaret Johnson joins us now live in our newsroom with that story. Margaret?
Well, Cameron, it's easy, it's quick, and the accuracy rate is extremely high.
Over toward me.
Ricky Goins at his dentist's office
Look at the base of the tongue.
for his regular teeth cleaning.
No abnormalities if you'll bite down for me, Ricky.
But on this visit, he's also getting a potentially life-saving procedure.
I'm kind of apprehensive, but I want to know.
He's being screened for oral cancer.
There's some cancer in my family background, so anything that I can do to help myself.
The new test he's having is called vizilight.
Take this.
The patient rinses with a special mouthwash for 1 minute to dehydrate potential cancer cells. Then the doctor uses a special light to inspect the entire mouth. Any suspicious tissue will glow in the dark.
All that you see so far is good. Nothing's glowing.
Dr. Phil Golden has already done close to 200 of these screenings.
People that dip, this is an area of high concern.
Sending at least 4 patients to have biopsies. He says the test is extremely accurate.
They have a negative predictive value of 99.1%, which means there's less than 1% chance of this screening missing cancer, oral cancer.
Raise your tongue up to your palate.
The American Cancer Society estimates more than 34,000 new cases of oral cancer will be diagnosed this year, and that 7,500 of those patients will die.
One American dies of oral cancer every hour in this country.
Dr. Golden thinks this new screening can help reduce those numbers because it can pinpoint cancer in the early stages, which doctors sometimes can't see with the eye until it's much more advanced.
It's just a great feeling to have this test and walk out and say, that's one less thing I have to worry about.
And Dr. Golden recommends anyone over 18 get this screening, and not just people who use tobacco and drink alcohol, because the death rate for oral cancer isn't going down.
You're watching RTV6, Indianapolis. Now, first at 5.
I'm Stacia Matthews. Up next, how this glow stick is helping dentists detect oral cancer earlier than ever before.
Well, you know, it may sound hard to believe, but every hour someone in this country dies of oral cancer.
Now, many of these victims never smoked or had risk factors, but a new tool is detecting this disease earlier than ever before. Stacia Matthews is on your side with how the glow stick is saving lives.
When you think of oral cancer, a man chewing tobacco probably comes to mind, but the face of the disease is changing. Oral cancer is increasing among women. The rise is due in part to the human papillomavirus, or HPV. Kathleen Taflinger contracted it in her early 20s.
Yes, viruses unfortunately stay in your body forever. But you get it, you get to keep it.
Studies show 1/4 of oral cancer cases are linked to HPV, the very same bug that causes cervical cancer. But a new tool will help Kathleen's dentist detect any precancerous cells earlier than ever before. First, Kathleen rinsed with a special acidic mouthwash for 1 minute.
It tastes like raspberry vinegar.
Then Dr. Brad Gray snapped vizilight into action, a glow stick that spots abnormalities not visible to the naked eye.
Once we shine this little glow stick on it, normal cells will absorb the light, so they appear dark, while abnormal cells will reflect the light and they will give off a little white iridescent glow, and that's what we're looking for. I didn't see any glowing areas at all, Kathleen, so that's a good test result.
And peace of mind.
Anytime I get any kind of screening for anything, you won't wait for the results, and you're always happy when they show that nothing is wrong, but certainly if there was, I would be happy too that it was detected early.
And when that happens, one of the most horribly disfiguring and deadly diseases can be stopped in its tracks without claiming another life. Stacia Matthews, 6 News.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
In tonight's Medical Watch, lighting up a dark place where cancer likes to hide. We are talking about the inside of the mouth.
Medical reporter Dina Baer explains a new tool that tells doctors if their patients have oral cancer.
Under the tongue, behind the cheeks, they're difficult places to see. Still, dentists searched with their eyes for any sign of cancer. Now they have a special device that highlights the cancer cells, giving them a better way to see their patients through treatment without major disfigurement.
I began to have some feeling of irritation, and especially when every time I had something acidic, especially like, some sort of citrus fruit or tomatoes, it was very painful. And I told my dentist, and I couldn't see it because it's under my tongue, really. Please check.
An initial check, and Nancy Cook was told she was just fine. Nancy wasn't convinced, so she got a second opinion. Her new dentist found cancer.
But he knew whether I was going to be able to talk or how much of my tongue I was going to lose or whatever. So it was indeed frightening.
A 4-centimeter tumor was removed from Nancy's tongue. She was shocked since she never smoked.
Everybody who comes to the office should be screened, because even though the highest risk may be people over 40, 27% of the people who get it have no risk factors at all.
And sometimes the cancer cells are so tiny, dentists can't see them at all. Enter vizilight.
What the vizilight does, it makes it easier to see, so something that's borderline that you might miss kind of jumps out at you even more so.
First, a patient rinses with acetic acid.
It's kind of a strong vinegar taste.
Then the light is pointed inside the mouth, where it reflects off abnormal cells.
We're checking the tissue, the soft tissue, the mucosa of the mouth. We're looking for any white areas. The white areas, which can be indicative of cancer.
Red lesions are also red flags. There may be a problem in your mouth.
There's somebody dying every hour right now from oral cancer, and it's like if we caught it early, we could stop that.
During your next exam, make sure your dentist checks your neck as well as your mouth, looking for lumps on the lymph nodes or thyroid tumors. Preventing cavities is no longer the only goal at the biannual cleaning.